Retail and hospitality is changing, with often complex and fragmented systems combined with large volumes of customer data for businesses to make sense of. It's critical to work with the right partners in order to guarantee success. At Tratec Consulting, we help retail and hospitality businesses transform their technology, removing overly bloated processes and creating unified and efficient systems of working throughout. So don't just take our word for it. See for yourself. Tratec Consulting, the leaders in technology transformation across retail and hospitality.
Hello, welcome to the All Things Boro podcast. This is the official podcast of Farnborough Football Club and sponsored by Tratec Consulting. Tratec takes your business visions and turns them into innovative reality. Good evening, everybody. I know I said in the last episode that was our last one of the season, but Simon, you're with me tonight. We got should we call this a special episode or a bonus episode, whatever we want to call it?
You always say you usually say very special episode or very special guest, but
we do have a very special guest. Everyone that's watching us on YouTube can see who we've got on the call. But how are you doing, Simon? Anyway,
yeah, I'm alright. Thanks. Yeah, a few little technical issues with my Wi-Fi this evening. So
we did, yeah. Very nearly didn't happen.
You nearly had 30 seconds of me, and that was that. So yeah, which my last girlfriend would probably say that it's probably more than enough for anybody. But yeah, we're going to that. Yeah, so yeah, all good, mate. I've got the tram rail running past my railway room, my hotel room.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you hear a loud banging noise and a ding dong, that'll be the tram going past. So yeah.
You're sleeping in the 18th century, then, are you? Or...
No. I mean, Nottingham, there's a tram rail here, so that's quite good. So no cars though. It's quite nice. Oh, there's a police car back flying past, and I can hear him coming. Back to a police car. That's my taxi. Yeah. Yes, good. So yeah, as Alan was saying, we got Hady Ghandour on this evening, who was on loan with us very briefly, sadly. Again this season. So we just wanted we thought we'd get you on and touch base with you and find out how the season went and how it ended, obviously, as well, and what you're up to in the future. So yeah, good evening, Hady. How are you?
Evening, yeah, all good. Happy to be back on and ready to chat about the season. So yeah,
cool, good stuff. Yeah, you started the season off in really good form, didn't you? I actually went to the Oval game purely to go and see you and see how you were getting on. And yeah, you got 2 goals against Yeovil first match, 3-3 draw.
Forest Green.
Yeah.
Forest Green.
Forest Green. Yeah, that's what I said. What did I say? I don't even know what I said. It was someone. Yeah, similar colours. Yeah, Forest Green. Yeah, that's the reason I went. I thought Forest Green would be a good, really good test for Aldershot, to be fair, and it was a really good match. But yeah, you played really well.
Yeah, that was a special game. Honestly, that was the first one, and I did not expect it to go like that. I was under not a lot of pressure, to be honest, but I hadn't scored in pre-season. But I was kind of happy with how I was playing. So the only thing that was missing were goals, and they flowed straight away there and then. The first goal I remember vividly. I just dispossessed him, took him back across, and just finished it with my right. The second goal, I don't remember a thing. I just remember receiving the ball. It was one of those moments where it was. I don't remember anything. I just remember peeling off after it went in to celebrate. And then obviously the assist for Jamo for the equalizer. But yeah, it was a great game. Honestly, it was a great spectacle and really set the season in the right tone.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, definitely did. I mean, I think it was the first goal. I think you kind of like, as you said, took it back across and you kind of chipped the goalkeeper from just inside the box. So it was a really good finish. And he wasn't the goalkeeper.
That was the second. The first one was more of a powerful strike. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you sort of came onto it from the side, didn't you? And then hit it almost through the goalkeeper. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was really 2 really good finishes. I was thinking, here we go. Hades off here. He's off, and then obviously you scored in the next. You scored one in the next game as well, didn't you? So you had like 3 and 2.
Yeah, so I had Maidenhead. I scored and I got an assist against Oldham. So yeah, it was a good first month, and then obviously strikers go through patches. I went through a patch and then went on loan to the Boro, obviously, and lasted 12 minutes.
yeah, really disappointing. It It was really a shame. Everyone at the club was actually really, as you're probably aware, we're really looking forward to seeing you back, and
Yeah, I was
everyone's really
excited.
excited. Yeah, and we know you have a bit of affection for Farmer.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, tell us what it was like just being back around the place and working with Spencer again and Steve and all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was lovely. Obviously, they were trying for a while, but it didn't materialize until I wasn't really getting any more minutes that I needed at my age, because I hadn't really played consistent minutes, which is what I was getting at the start of the season. But obviously, I wasn't performing to my standards for a little phase, and obviously ended up getting reduced minutes. So I thought I don't want to go through another year of not playing enough football. So the loan managed to materialize eventually, and I was really excited. We had a big game, the first game, Torquay, and I was just excited to obviously you guys started on fire. You were up the top of the table, so
Yeah.
I was excited to come back and hopefully help you sustain another decent run. But yeah, it was lovely being around the place. We had a midweek friendly before that Torquay game, and I played, obviously I know Joe Haig from Aldershot, and obviously Rick and all the guys, and Chinny was with me at Charlton as well, so I knew a lot of the guys, and
That's good.
I really enjoyed that friendly. And unfortunately, it happens. I fell and my shoulder decided to pop out of place. But
Mm.
all in all, injury wise, it was by the last 3 years, it was very successful, because I had no muscle injuries at all season. I think when I was fit, I only missed one training session just out of fatigue. So all in all, what I worked for in the summer paid off physically. I mean, I can't really control if I fall and my shoulder falls out of place, pops out of place. So
Yeah.
successful season on the injury front, which sounds weird. Obviously, I had a surgery, but everything I worked for and put into my body in the off season paid off. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about what happened with the knock, because it was kind of quite innocuous, really, wasn't it? It was just like you're running onto like a pass, and then it just and you sort of.
Yeah, I remember JT, like, because I know me and him have that sort of unspoken connection. Whenever he gets the ball, he loves to break his line, and he's got a great kick on him. He got an assist for me last year against Chelmsford the same way.
Yeah.
So I knew when he got it, he was gonna break his line and kick it to me. I had a one-on-one. I just gave the defender a little nudge. I thought it bounced because I would have been in, but it slowed the ball down a bit, and then they had 3 or 4 defenders recover quite quickly. So I just remember just getting drowned out by defenders and tripped up. Nothing, no malicious intent from the defender. My leg tangled on his and I fell, and I don't remember how I fell. I just remember a really, really sharp pain in my shoulder, and I just had my hand on my shoulder like that, and I felt like a little hole here, and I knew, I was like, yeah, I think my shoulder popped out of place, and I couldn't move my arm. It was lucky that they had a doc at the game. So the Torquay doc, who was great with me, honestly, ran onto the pitch. He kept trying to move my arm, and I kept swearing and saying I can't move my arm, this and that.
Yeah.
Kind of put his arm under my armpit, so the bone kind of went down here.
Oh.
And he said it was dislocated. So he was like, "Do you want a stretcher?" I said, "No, I'll just walk off." So they just put my shirt, wrapped my arm around my shirt, and just walked off. And then went inside the medical room. They gave me a Penthrox to suck on to make me feel numb. And then I just remember he pulled my arm and it just popped back into place. So yeah, that's what I remember, that injury vividly. It was not a nice experience.
What is it? Was it just a dislocation, or was there any sort of
So I had a dislocation. I tore all the ligaments, and I had the bone broken in 5 places.
Wow, Jesus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was complicated. It was complicated. I was meant to be out for 6 months. I was back. I started against Woking 4 months post-op, so I was very ahead of schedule.
Yeah, you definitely were, because we weren't expecting you to play again. Really, this season we thought, oh, that's it. He's not going to play.
I wasn't. They told me my season was ruled out, but I don't accept that. And luckily, I made it back. Yeah,
no, you did. Yeah, you did very well to come back. Was the you were in surgery quite quickly, weren't you? Was it Monday or the Tuesday afterwards? Was that right?
Yeah, it was. The game was a Saturday, and I was in the op on the Friday the week after. So basically, if it was purely a ligament based injury, I would have been able to wait 4 to 6 weeks and strengthen it before the operation. But since I had so many breaks, it was more of a, an urgent matter to get it done. So.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it's good. So, what's the recovery like for you? What's it been like? Has it been obviously it's been successful because you were back quicker
Yeah,
than you thought.
it's been tough. Honestly, it's been, two, 3 times a day, just getting reps through my shoulder and strengthening all the muscles around the shoulder. So I was meant to be in a sling for 3 to 4 weeks. I took it off after 2 days. And I was getting work in literally with my physio. I have an external physio I work with, who's worked with me ever since I've got all my injuries. And we were putting work through it 2 days in with resistance band and just working my range, whatever the surgeon allowed me to do range wise. And whatever I do with my physio, I'd multiply that by 2 on a day. So I'd do 2-3 times a day, just getting work through in my shoulder. And as the time went by, I was progressing quickly. I'd have periodic appointments with the surgeon every 3 to 4 weeks, and he was very happy with my recovery, and we agreed to accelerate my rehab. And three months in, I had my last appointment, and I had to do some pretty intense shoulder strength testing where they measure how much force output you have in certain positions, and one of the positions was, I assume, the position that I dislocated my shoulder, which was not a nice test to do, but you basically look for asymmetry between each side of your body. So my left shoulder was pretty much the same force output wise as my right, and he was very happy for me to get back into full contact training. So he said, look, I can hold you back for the 5-6 month time frame that we had said when you had the operation, but if your risk is now 5% of popping it out again, it will only go down to 2.5-3% if I hold you back another 2 months. You're an elite athlete, so I think it's worth the risk. And thankfully, I've gotten through all the training and games and felt good. So I guess the risk was worth it.
You seem to have quite a good sort of mental resilience to this sort of setback. I mean, because initial outlay is 6 months and maybe potentially missing out the whole season, to returning after all your rehab and training, returning back after 4 months. What are you doing to yourself in your mind to get yourself through all of that process? Because obviously it's quite a daunting sort of thing to go through. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, you've broken it in 5 places, but torn ligaments. It's a long process for a normal person like me and Simon to go through. Do you know what I mean? That would put us out of work. Do you know what I mean?
I'd have been dead. So,
not that it matters to Simon. Simon just sits on his arse all day anyway, so that's funny. He doesn't use his shoulder. But do you know what I mean? So what's going through your head through this whole time to help you get through it? What are you doing?
Well, first of all, it was my 5th operation, so I wouldn't say it gets easier, but you get used to it, and after every operation and rehab process, you kind of know what to do, where to start, how to progress it, and I've learned over the years to, pay more attention to what my body's telling me feeling wise. Obviously, initially when it happened, that on the day it was talky, and it took me ages to get back home and this and that. But ever since when I saw the surgeon and I knew what I had, did all the scans, that's when you just reset and go, okay, this is what I have ahead of me. And you just take it day by day and get everything done on a day-to-day basis. And before you know it, you're 3-4 months down the line, and you're getting your strength back, and you're coming back to peak fitness.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're right to say that. It's day by day process. Sometimes you've got to literally just segment everything up, don't you? So you take it day by day, then week by week, then and as you say, it's kind of like time flows, isn't it? So anyway, it's good to know you're back and fully recovered and everything. That's really, really good. You obviously you had a really nice experience. We talked about the bad stuff, talked about the good stuff now. You had a really nice experience on Sunday at the trophy final with Aldershot. It's good. I saw you were named on the bench, which is good. Did you get any minutes at all when playing was?
No, unfortunately I didn't. But I hadn't been the last few games, which is manager's decision. Respect that. Still, I mean, regardless, I wasn't even meant to be there. So the fact that I was on the bench is a big bonus for me. Obviously, I would have loved to play. But even just warming up on the pitch at Wembley, and just, we had close to 20,000 fans there. So I've been to watch games in the stands, and to be on the pitch and to see, the whole crowd. It's really unique, to be honest. And the atmosphere was unreal. And obviously winning and getting a medal and lifting the trophy on those, famous steps is a once in a lifetime experience that, I don't take for granted. And obviously would have loved to play, but you don't turn down a trophy and medals. So I'll take it.
No.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you say, it's a great experience. Even if you sadly didn't get on, but at least you sampled the experience. And some players don't even never play at Wembley in their careers, do they? Or never even
100%.
sample it. So
yeah,
it's really good. Yeah, it's good. I saw you on the bench. I was hoping you might get on, but I know you started a few games prior to that.
Started the Woking game. Yeah, that was I wasn't expecting that, but I've been training really well ever since I got back from injury, and we were never we flirted with both sides of the table, but we were always kind of mid-table this season. So yeah, the manager decided to start me in the Woking game, and we were 2-0 down within 5 bloody minutes. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah. I remember seeing the scores coming as, oh god, great start. Yeah. So you're so with that, you've kind of you're as you said off air, you're kind of a free agent now, by all accounts. Is that right?
Yeah. So my deal ran out after the final, and I'm just kind of in limbo now. I'm not really thinking about it. I need a little break. It's been another tough year, honestly. With the injury, and obviously with Aldershot when I was playing, we went through a kind of a rough phase results wise. So I'm not really thinking about my situation at the moment. I'll give it a week, 10 days, just to reset and then relax and put my mind on other stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
haven't planned anything yet. So I'll see.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, something to look forward to. Yeah,
we've jumped quite far ahead there. So we're quite early into the podcast. Simon's gone really far ahead there. So let's go back to obviously like beginning sort of portion of the season when you were playing and then not playing for Aldershot, not getting the minutes. And what are the conversations that you're having with the manager or the coaches, management team in that sort of period? And how did that sort of lead up to the eventual loan to us?
Look, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really have any like when I got dropped from, obviously because I was starting every game. The manager rotates every few games because boys will be tired anyway, which is fine. But the moment I didn't really have to go back to your question. I didn't really have any conversations with the gaffer. I just I wasn't scoring, and as a striker, you're judged on goals. So what am I gonna go speak about, if you know what I mean? I need to come on and get lucky and score to change the outlook. So I didn't have any conversations, but there was one game we played Dagenham away. We were 3-0 down. We had a sending off. We brought it back to 3-2, but I didn't come on in that game, and that was I think December time. That was the game before I went back on loan. Came back to Farnborough on loan. And I was just driving back from the game, and I was like, "Look, I just want to play football, man. I'm fit now. My body's in a good place. I feel really good. I was smashing games out in the early season. Like, I remember we had the first bank holiday weekend in August. We had a Saturday Monday. We played Oldham at home. We popped them 4-1. I got an assist. Gave Theo a penalty as well. I wanted to take it, but he begged me for his first goal, so I'm a nice striker. I gave it to him. And then we played the Tamworth on the Monday. So we had a Saturday, Monday. I played 96 minutes, bang, bang. Like, that was, for me last season, that would have been, we need to load manage Hady, this and that. He can't play those games. But I was very happy that weekend, because I was like, that was my proof that what I put in to myself, I've proven that physically I'm in a very good place. And I was always in a good place. I believe I had, bad luck with injuries, but thankfully this season, I got a bit of bad luck again with my shoulder, but my muscles were great, and they were firing on all cylinders. But yeah, no chats. And then obviously after the Dagenham game, I don't know if my name was, I forgot, but they said, I think Farnborough formally approached or inquired about me. And then I just sat up. I think that was the period Tommy, the gaffer, had unfortunately had his strokes. So the gaffer wasn't in. So I had to speak to Richard and Hugh, the assistants, and they explained to me why I didn't come onto the Dagenham game, which is fine. It was gone anyway. It was meaningless. They just said, look, if you want to go get minutes, then that's fine. And I was just open and honest. Football's not I didn't want to beat around the bush. I said, listen, I just want to go play minutes. I'm not getting minutes. It's nothing against you, nothing against the team, nothing against the boys. I just need to look after my career. And they were very understanding with it, and they were open to it. And I just said, listen, yeah, let's just get this done. And then ever since then, it was quick. I signed, and then unfortunately, my shoulder decided to pop out. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, because like I say, I really like your attitude. To be fair, 'cause there's a lot of young players, or you're around your age, or you're sort of mid 20s, I suppose, no, early mid 20s, and a lot of them were quite happy to sit around on the bench and not play. But a lot of you're different. I think you want to play. You want to.
I hate it. I can understand it because look, when I wasn't scoring, and if you're not scoring as a striker, I think managers will tell you, I love the work, this and that. He gives me this and that. But at the end of the day, if you're a striker and you're not scoring, you're the easiest position to drop on the pitch. So can't complain,
I've often said about players and coaches that honesty is obviously the best policy. And players themselves they prefer their coaches or their managers to tell them the truth rather than
100%.
beat around the bush about certain decisions, why they're being dropped, why they're not playing, why they came off at a certain time in the game. Is that true? I know we sort of get the feeling that that's how you feel, but is that true for a lot of players?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, one, it saves a lot of time. I mean, I'd rather I know now if you don't want to play me, so I can sort myself out for the next 6 months, or I don't know how. When do you think you're going to need me again? Saves a lot of time, and you just as you grow older in the profession, you don't take it personally. You just rather know because it'll put you at ease. Maybe when I was 20 and I was told I'm surplus to, like when I got released from Charlton at 21, that hurt me a lot. But I ended up going on the Saturday. I was on loan at Maidstone. I went and scored the goal that won us the title. So it was as you get older, you just take it less personally, and you tend to appreciate it because honesty is the only way to move forward. Because then you can have a mutual respect for each other as well moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can kind of like faff around for months and months. Otherwise, all you're doing is training and going home and not playing, turning up for matches, sitting on the bench.
Well, you're wasting each other's time. You're coming to train with no plan of you playing, and you're just an extra body in training that may be pretty pointless for the manager because he doesn't want to work with you because you're not in his plans. So, like I said, it just saves time and energy, and each one can focus on themselves.
Yeah. What's Tommy Riddington like as a manager? Is he quite difficult, or is he?
He's a character. No, he's difficult and not so difficult. He has his moments, but I think every manager does. But he demands a lot from us. He knows how good we are and how good we were this season, and he can tend to be more upset than us in some scenarios. But that's only because he knows the potential we have and he knows how good we were. But all in all, in the outer stuff outside of football, you can go to him with anything. He's an open book, and he always told us, if you need anything, literally anything, just come straight to me and we can talk. And funny character, and he's a character, put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it means
what's he like at training? Does he take the sessions, or does he have like the plan and let his team do it?
Richard and Hugo take the start of the session usually, which is like passing drill, warm up, and Tommy, because we train at Gordon's, Tommy walks down across the top, and he takes a back seat. It depends on the day. Sometimes he watches from afar. He likes to analyze and look at little details, and some days when we're doing shape work, for example, he'll let Rich and Hugo do it, but when he wants to say something, he'll butt in, he'll step on the pitch, he'll show us where he wants us to be, where he wants us to play mainly this game, where he thinks we can hurt them, what areas of the pitch. And some days he sits afar and watches, and some days he's more hands-on. So it depends, honestly. Usually when we're doing shape work, though, he'll be a bit more hands-on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he's ex-professional, isn't he? So you play for Southampton and a few other clubs.
Played at the highest level. So
yeah.
And what about like the other two coaches that you talked about there? Are they really, are they approachable? Are they really good? Do they sort of know what they're trying to sort of get across when it comes to Tommy's vision and Tommy's plan?
Yeah, they all obviously they don't always agree, because obviously coaches have opinions, but generally when we approach a game, they all have the same game plan and they sing off the same hymn sheet. And then if for example one coach, they don't want to do it that way, they'll break it down post game and follow that. But yeah, Rich and Hugo are both been in the game for a very long time. Rich also played at a very high level. Hugo's managed loads of teams as well as an assistant. They're very good, very, very. I mean, the main thing for me is they're nice people and they're good people. So you can always approach them, and they always bring good energy to training. Whether we've lost, whether we've won, they try and stay level headed, and it helps as a player. For example, if you have a bad game on the Saturday, you come in on the Monday, and they're cheerful, happy. It kind of puts you back in the mood to get back into training and get back on the train. So yeah, no, very, very good coaches and very good coaching staff.
Yeah, I wanted to just brush past something very quickly with you. Obviously we had the news a few days ago that Ricky Holmes has left Farnborough. Obviously gone to Chelmsford. What's your opinions of Ricky as a person, having worked with him and as a player and a coach?
I really like Rick. Obviously, I knew before I signed for Farnborough the first time around he was at Charlton, so we had that little bit of a connection before. But ever since I came and I was scoring and doing well, we straight away built that connection. He was like an older brother to me. When I got recalled the first time, he told me, this is pretty much, as brutal as it sounds, this is why you came on loan, to go back there and play in the big games against Oldham, this and that. The Oldhams, the Forest Greens, Rochdales. And when I came back the second time, we were both really excited, and he gives so much, and he gave so much to the club on so many different fronts. Obviously on the pitch last season, he was one of the main men. Off the pitch as well, tactically, how we set up for games. He's such a good guy to have around the place, because he's just so knowledgeable. Just to put it as bluntly as that, and he's so good at that age as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every time, like we've seen him play, and away fans that we've spoken to have always said, like, who is that guy? How old is he? Look, I was saying he's in his late 30s and he's running around like he's in his early 20s and
plays with such a high intensity. He plays at such a high intensity, and it's very infectious. And like I said, the knowledge of the game, and even when we were preparing for games in the week, the videos in the group chat, he's a massive help, and it's a real shame. Honestly, it's a big loss. But I'm sure there was a lot of other stuff that went on that didn't allow him to stay. Obviously, money being an option, money being a big factor, and the owners have to look after the club. So
and obviously as well, he's going to Chelmsford. He's sort of back in his sort of home territory as well. So he's reduced the travel time for training and stuff like that.
It's a full-time position as well that he's got there at Chelmsford as well. So there's a lot of Farnborough fans who are I don't know. I think pissed off's the wrong word. It's more sort of disappointed that he's gone, but it's understandable disappointment. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people understand. We certainly do. We understand.
No, you can't. Look, I'm sure financially they were in a good position to offer him a full-time role as well, and owners always get a lot of stick, but they have to. I mean, same with the chairman at Aldershot, but they have to look after the longevity of the club at the end of the day. So that's what some fans don't understand as well. But yeah, that's it.
No, you did right. We've had
a few dealings with some Bomber fans that sort of been a bit disheartened during our season, especially when we're during the low times of the season, and they have a more understanding of what goes on behind the scenes after like a fans forum that was held at the club, and was spent to sort of explained a bit more in detail about what goes on off the pitch, and now they have a sort of a better understanding. But like I said, for clubs, especially clubs of our size, that Farnborough, money is a big factor, and we can't just go out shelling out X, Y, and Z to whoever 100%. We want, because it can't afford it, and it's not sustainable for us as a club, let alone anyone else. But look,
having said that, though, I hope they push the boat out for you, Hady, in the summer. To be fair.
We'll see. I don't know yet, as I said, but we'll see.
If Garbo's listening, just break the bank, please. Break the bank. Just wherever he wants, just pay
it. Let's carry on. Let's carry on with Aldershot. Obviously, you started the season with them, and you had a little disappointing loan spell with us, and your little injury setback. But overall, because you came back early and you played a few games, came on as double, and whatever. Overall, as a season for the club, how do you think it's been? I mean, what were the expectations before the start of the season? There was a little bit. There was, while you had your injury period, there was sort of made a little bit flirting with relegation a little bit, but they've managed to pull themselves away from that and obviously get themselves to the FA Trophy final. Overall, how has that season been looked at by everybody at the club?
Obviously, whenever you finish with a trophy, it's considered a success.
Yeah.
I before the season personally thought we'd finish in the top 10. You know, obviously we do have one of the lowest budgets, or a bottom 10 budget. I don't know specifically where we are, but I think Tommy and his staff recruit very well, and I think we recruited well again this year. Maybe, you know, we didn't hit it with the same as like a Tolaj and a Stokes, but we did recruit very well, and we had a very good young and hungry team. We finished, I think, 16th eventually, and 16th I honestly think we could have finished a lot higher. But that mid-season patch killed us. We really went through a patch, and then obviously I got injured, and the patch kind of continued. We went into the relegation zone, I think, for one day or one game week.
I think you did, yeah.
And then the boys just turned it on and just flew up the table, and we got to like 5-6 points within the playoffs again. And then we hit another patch, and all in all, look, I would say it's a successful season, but I do think we could have finished higher in the league. We had a more than good enough squad and staff, and as a club in general, we were more than good enough than where we finished in the league. But I think we made up for that in the FA Trophy. The boys did immensely well to win that and get to the final. So
yeah. And obviously, you touched on it earlier about Tommy's strokes that he had halfway through the season. How much of an effect did that have on the players as well? Because obviously you're going to training without him there, going to games without him present, without his influence, without him talking to you. How much of an effect did that have on you guys as players, and obviously the management as well, because they're having to do everything themselves without him as well?
Yeah. I mean, I was also in an upper week after, so I kind of missed a 5 to 6 week phase when he wasn't in. But I was obviously aware of what was going on. Obviously, it was a bit of a shock when it was first announced. But the harsh reality of football is football doesn't wait for anyone, and the gaffer himself would say that, Tommy. So, you know, the boys kept it rolling, and they wanted to do it for him and the management team. You know, they all love each other, obviously, and they all wanted to pull together to make Tommy proud. So yeah, I think, you know, every day they came in with a goal of you know, making him proud, and he was fully aware of what was going on, and how training was, you know, team selection, and the atmosphere obviously was down for a bit, but the boys are strong. They have great character, and they pulled it together and did him proud over that period for sure.
Yeah, it was amazing to see him come back as well, because I think it was reported he had 2 strokes.
If you know him, you don't expect any less from him. He's a warrior and a great guy, and he's a character, like I said.
Yeah, like I say, it was amazing.
If there was
to see
anyone
the
to do it, it would be him.
Yeah. But obviously he's in relatively good health now. He seems to have seen him online, his post matches interviews, and that he seems to be in good health and going strong. So hopefully that continues on for a long time, and he carries on. But yeah, look,
Fingers crossed.
yeah. So, have you got anything else you want to say?
No, we obviously touched on there off air about holidays and stuff. You got any? You haven't got anything booked so far, have you? But is there anywhere you'd like to go if you had the opportunity?
I'll probably head back home to Lebanon. There's no better place than home, so probably head. I don't know. Once I know my situation, it clears up a bit in the next, hopefully, week. I don't know when it's going to clear up, but week to 10 days, and I'll go back home, and got family and friends there, and it's the best time I can train out there, so it'll all be good.
Just quickly touching on that, is that still, that's obviously still an ambition of yours now, to make more international appearances for your country?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I've had issues with the FA. I haven't, but I can't swear, but it annoys me a bit that they don't pay the National League enough respect. It's not an easy league. It's very, very hard, and it's a very hard league. But because it's the 5th division, they kind of look down on it out there.
Yeah,
which pees me off a bit, but it's okay. It is an ambition of mine to get back, but I don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, it should have happened in the first month when I got 3 goals and 2 assists.
Exactly,
but they didn't call me up, so they didn't call me up for the September game. So ever since then, I kind of was just like, you know what, this is just not going to happen anytime soon. So just forget about it. Which I have. I'm not really thinking about that at the moment. I need to look after my career domestically here, and then that'll settle later on. I'm not thinking about it too much at the moment.
No,
what's just ask you just off football subject really? What's Lebanon like as a country? Because obviously people think of Lebanon. I think when people of my age, me and myself and Alan's age, they always think of it as a bit of a I don't know, a war torn sort of I don't know, terrorist sort of.
Look, it is a war torn. It is a war torn country. We always seem to have some sort of conflict or some sort of bad event happening, but it's not at all what you see or read. It's a coastal country. We have mountains. The country's all on the Mediterranean Sea. If you go in April, you'll see snow on the mountains and blue skies, and you're on the sea. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of country. The food's amazing. The people are very hospitable and generous, and the best nightlife ever. So if you wanna go out, go to Beirut. That's what everyone says, or most people. So yeah, it's not what you read at all. It's actually kind of the opposite. We do have our conflicts because the region is so volatile. But I was there when the war was going on last summer, and the people have just gotten so used to conflict that the daily life just continues. I mean, the south of Lebanon would be under attack, and you'd be out in Beirut on like a Friday night having a blast, and it's only a 40-minute drive where they're getting bombed. So, but yeah, I don't want to get too political, but yeah, that's just to give you an example of how the people are so used to everything that's gone on.
Yeah, I mean, but from what you described there, with all the good stuff, it sounds like a lovely place to spend some time.
It is a very fun place. So if you want to go, just ask me for the spots. You'll love it. Trust me.
Well, if you don't get a club, Hady, for whatever reason, then you've definitely done your bit for the Lebanese tourist board anyway. So you definitely have a job.
Yeah.
Right, listen, we'll let you go, Hady. But thanks for coming on tonight. It's been great catching up with you, and hopefully, something in some form or another will get sorted for you for next season. Please, let me Farnborough. But yeah, thanks for coming on, and
let's see.
hopefully you get a nice holiday in the next week to 10 days.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it, and always a pleasure to come on and chat. It's always a good time. So thank you very much, and you too. Enjoy your summer without football. No stress and
We'll try.
no arguments.
It's no such thing, Hady. I'm miserable already. You know, so the playoffs haven't even finished yet, and I'm already, thinking about hanging myself on the balcony here. You know what I mean?
We'll try. Look, listen, don't go away, Hady. We'll have a little chat when we finish.
Cool.
But this episode was sponsored by Tratec Consulting, taking your business visions and turning them into innovative reality. For more information, visit tratecconsulting.co.uk. That's it for us tonight. Like I said, Hady, don't go away. Thanks for coming on tonight. Thanks to everybody that's been watching us all season on YouTube and for watching this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as we always say. Simon, we got anything to say before we go?
No, just thanks, Hady, for your time as always. And obviously, if the phone rings and it's an unknown number from the Farnborough area, it might be Spencer. So make sure you pick it up, Hady. Yeah,
I will do. I will do.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back very soon with another episode.